Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English, and this is your favorite YouTuber Mukesh Soni, and the lesson which we are going to discuss here is prescribed for the second semester B.Sc General English under Bangalore University, and the title of the lesson is here How Mushrooms First Grew. Friends, this is one of the most famous West African folk tales. It's very interesting story. It's very interesting folk tale. So let's know the beginning of this story here. A long time ago, there were two brothers who had so many bad habits. They used to waste their money and they used to fall into debt. People used to keep on asking them to pay back the money which they had already taken. But these brothers had left nothing. They had invested, they had spent the whole money. And the creditors, they used to chase them. And finally, these two brothers, they ran away into the forest. In the forest, they became robbers. They start they started stealing from others to survive. But even though they had escaped their debts and they could not escape from their guilt. So one day they felt ashamed of their actions. So one day they decided to change their lives. They thought that okay, it's enough. Let's change our life here. They returned home and they started a farm. Farm means a kind of agricultural field. They started a farm and they thought that now, slowly, gradually, they would repay their debts. So, what happened? These brothers, the brothers, they start working hard to clear a field and to plant corn. The soil was very rich, so they hope that they will have good corn, plenty of corn to sell. So they were very excited to finally fix their mistakes and to pay the remaining debts. Okay. So, but the next day, what happened next day? Next day, a bush fowl, a kind of a bird. You can look at the image. A bush fowl came by, and this bird saw the seeds in the soil and started to eat most of the seeds. So when the brothers returned, they were shocked. All their hard work had been ruined. So first they planted to grow some corn and they seeded it, and those seeds had been eaten by this bush fowl, and all their hard work had been ruined. So they were determined to catch the thief. They set a trap. So they thought that okay, it's the right time, we should catch this bush fowl. So they set a trap here. The next morning, this bird, the bush fowl, was caught, and the brothers were angry, and they told the bird, since you have destroyed our crops, the debt is now yours to pay. You have destroyed our crop, and you have to pay all the debt. The poor bushfowl was frightened, afraid. It didn't know. It didn't know that how a small bird could repay such a big debt. But this bushfowl decided to try. So let us see what is the bushfowl's plan. The bushfowl built a nest under a silk cotton tree and let many eggs. And it planned, this bird planned to sell the baby birds and use the money to pay the debts. Okay. So, however, before the eggs could hatch, a strong wind blew through the forest. A large branch from the tree fell and crushed the eggs. The bushfowl was heartbroken, and in frustration, the bushfowl said, "Now the debt belongs to the silk cotton tree because of the branch of the tree that um, that eggs are broken here, the eggs are smashed here. Now the debt should be paid by the silk cotton tree. Now it is the trouble of the tree to pay the debt. The silk cotton tree felt very bad about what had happened. To pay the debt, the cotton tree grew large amounts of soft cotton. It hoped to sell the cotton and to settle what it owed. But soon an elephant passed by. Seeing the cotton, the elephant pulled the tree down with its trunk, and the tree was upset. The tree said, "You have destroyed my cotton. Now the debt is yours to pay. So who should pay the debt now? The elephant has to pay because the elephant has smashed the cotton tree. So the cotton tree said that you have destroyed elephant, you have destroyed my cotton. Now the debt is yours to pay. Now let us see, what does the elephant do? The elephant didn't mean any harm, but now it had the debt. The elephant wandered the forest, not knowing what to do. He doesn't know what to do. So while standing quietly under a tree, a hunter saw the elephant. The hunter thought the elephant would bring a lot of wealth. So the hunter shot the elephant, and the elephant is died. As the elephant lay dying, the elephant told the hunter, "Since you killed me, the debt is now yours." So who has to pay the debt now? The hunter should pay the debt. So what will hunter do? The hunter was shocked and very disappointed. He was very poor. He had no way to pay the debt. As the hunter was walking towards his home in the dark, accidentally he fell down because his foot had hit a tree stump, and because of that because of that he had broken his leg. He had broken his leg due to the tree stump. Then the hunter said to the tree stump, since I got hurt, so I'm sorry, since I got hurt by you, tree stump, the debt is now yours. Now the tree stump has to pay the debt. The next day, a group of white ants came along. I'm sorry, white ants. I given a wrong picture. They started chewing on the tree stump, breaking it down bit by bit. The stump said, since you destroyed me, the debt is now yours. Who has to pay the debt now? The ants should pay the debt now because these ants started chewing the tree stump. The ants were very clever. Instead of complaining, they came up with a plan. They worked together to gather money and bought linen thread. They bought some linen thread. They wove, they wove the thread into a beautiful cloth, and they sold the thread into the they sold the thread at the market. So what happened finally? To keep the cloth in good condition, the ants spread it out on their ant hills to dry. So when the people saw the white fabric lying on the ground, they mistook it for a plant. Curious, they tasted it and they found this plant just like a very delicious one. And finally, they called it mushroom, and they started gathering this for food. And this is how the mushroom grew first. So, and that's how the mushroom first grew, all because of a debt that passed from one creature to another creature. So we have a series of events. What has happened exactly? Two brothers, they waste their money, they fall into debt, they run away into the forest, they become robbers, they feel guilty and return home to start a farm. They plant corn, but a bird, bushfowl, eats the seeds. They trap the bushfowl and demand repayment. Bushfowl lay eggs to sell, but a storm, wind destroys them. Bushfowl passes them the debt to the silk cotton tree. The tree grows cotton to sell, but an elephant destroys it. Then tree passes the debt to the elephant. Elephant is killed by hunter and passes the debt to hunter. The hunter breaks his leg on a tree stump and blames it. The tree stump passes the debt to the white ants. White ants weave the linen cloth and dry it on the ant hills. People mistake the white cloth fabric for the mushrooms. There's a they think that it's a mushroom, and they start eating it. So this is how mushrooms are discovered and gathered for food. And this is a famous African story here. So what's the summary? What do we learn from this story here? This story teaches us the importance of taking responsibility. Instead of finding solutions, everyone in the story is passing the debt to the other person. Only the ants used their wisdom and teamwork to turn the problem into something valuable. It shows that even when times are tough, we should work together. We should think creatively. Then we can turn the challenges into the opportunities. This is how we have learned by those ends here. So, friends, this is how I have tried to summarize the story how the mushrooms grew first, one of the famous West African folk tales, which is prescribed for the second semester B.Sc General English under Bangalore University. So thank you so much. Subscribe the channel, like the video, and share it, comment it. Any questions, please reach me at the rate of Mukesh English at the rate of gmail.com. So thank you. Stay connected with Mukesh English.